and I like, and I say that, and like I say, I one of my other people said that well, actually, we found 500 million people that meet your criteria for the worst of the worst or whatever. And I said, well, yeah, but that's a little bit much. We don't need that many. So, and that's all in all of existence of humanity or something like that. There were 500 million people that were really, really, really bad. So, anyway, that met the criteria for 1,000 years of torture. So, I don't know. I kind of left, I was like, well, I'm going to leave it up to you, but I don't really think that, I think that's too many, personally. So, I was like, why don't you cut it down to 1,000 or 60 or 5,000 or something like that? Pick the really bad ones. So I think, I don't know, they were doing something. So, like I said, I don't even care. It's not even my department. Pain and torture and blah blah isn't even my department. So anyway, like I said, a bunch of senators, a bunch of people in existence thought they could bargain their way out of it, or blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, it's like this. They're exoskeletons. They're base life forms, so they don't have higher functioning or reasoning. They just do what they're told to do, and that's about it. And they're almost impossible to kill and possess superhuman strength. So, yeah. And they were taken to someplace 500 million or 500 whatever some odd light years away, or and even moved, I think, or something like that. Like I said, somebody was trying to track them down or find them. So anyway, and then I just made myself forget for 50 trillion years. And I finally remembered. I might have even told them. Anyway, I don't know. I doubt it. Or they might have found out some way. Like, oh well. Anyway, I might have even given them the option of not being tortured or something like that. Because it's like, well, I'm not really going to learn anything anyway. But anyway, like I said, I don't even care. Yeah, it doesn't even matter to me. But yeah, it's kind of funny though. And people were like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, here's the thing. Like I say, I'm the one who actually shaped. And like I said, if you go back even further, like to the beginning of existence, I'm one of the main ones that's like back way back there. It's like a storm, and I'm the one that when a base life is small, I'm like, and that's also why a lot of people are like, well, if we're blah 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 blah, or we can blah blah blah. It's like, you know, so it's just like I was just like, whatever, you know. So like I say, and Rodney was like, you're bluffing, blah, and all these, blah, and it's like, it was a long time ago. I admit, I'm sorry. I was supposed to stop torturing them after like 1,000 years or a couple hundred years, but I actually forgot about them, and I remembered them 2,500 years later. I'm like, you're not still torturing those people, are you? And they were. So, or at least there were still like a couple of them left alive, thinking that they could get out of it or escape or whatever, or something like that. And like I say, yeah, there was no escaping. They were deep underground, and there was no way out or no way in, and or something like that. I don't even know, but they never were saved. Somebody found the bodies, like all shriveled up in bed or something like that. I don't know. I have a couple pictures of it. So, anyway, and like I say, women hated them too. So they tortured the shit out of out of what's his name? Um, Poor Marilyn Monroe, the original one, or something like that. Like I said, they took baseball bats to Jackie Onassis or Jackie Kennedy, and practically killed her. She was like 3 hours away from dying with internal bleeding. So there's literally not, her whole body was covered in bruises. They literally beat her until, or something like that, because I was protecting her, and then something, I don't know. There was a coup. Who knows? So they finally were able to get to her. Like I said, there was a lot of pressure coming down on me and down on anyone that cared about me, or anyone that was around me, or anyone that blah blah, or I don't know, or maybe he was just that psycho. Like there were some really fucking psycho people in existence that if you said no to them, they would beat the crap out of you. They would kill you. They would kill your family. They would kill all your friends. They would nuke your whole country, and they wouldn't even care. Like, there's a lot of people that were like, "I'm not losing sleep over it." They were just, they just were really that bad. It almost made me think maybe humans don't have consciences. So like and at one point in time, I was like, check on the consciences for humanity to make sure that they're okay. And so we were doing a rechecking of humans to make sure that there wasn't something wrong with them, because humans were acting so badly. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't even understand about existence that I could do, that I had done. To you, it was just like, so, no one like I say, I was Brian and blah 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 blah. Everyone just thought, oh, he's just a child. He's just a child. It's like, well, you see, yeah, not exactly. Just on vacation. So, yeah, protector of life, creator of life, most praised, exponential, sworn leader of of Germany, the one they pledged complete devotion to and wanted to be a part of, and love me the most, or love me very much, maybe even help me be created. Just to basically be able to say that they were the one that helped me, or one of the life forms that helped me. So, anyway, like I said, and like I say too, feeling is mutual with Germany and a lot of other people. And like I said, we checked on them. I had them double checked. I had internal checkings and all that other stuff. I mean, Germany didn't just fly without any whatever. I was constantly having them, verified, and everything else. Like every couple of years, I would have an audit. Everyone gets audited. Everyone gets looked at, and it's like just to make sure, that there's no problems. And mostly, like I say, usually it's just like mistakes or someone stole money or something like that, and just to make sure of everything. So, and everyone's like, okay, yeah. I mean, everyone got used to the audits. Everyone got used to the checks, because it's like, yeah, I mean, there's plenty to go around. So everyone was happy, you know. Anyway. It's not like I imprisoned anyone for stealing money. It's like, oh, it's not really a big deal. And for years, thousands of years, I would explain to people, well, see, you live life, and I worry about the other things in life. Like, I lived life, I existed trillions of years ago, and like I said, I'd never actually been human. I had never actually lived as a human. I was always worrying about the bigger things in existence, protecting you little humans, protecting you little life forms, keeping everyone safe, worrying about you bumping into other life forms, worrying about what else is out there. I worried about the real things in existence, worrying about Ebola, worrying about how to do this, worrying about how to do that, basically, keeping you alive, thinking about all your problems. So that's what I spent my existence mostly on. And then mostly just dealing with disagreements between two sides, like blah, 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 and then settling them. So anyway, it was, I did my time. So like I said, I created many life forms in existence, and we mostly just cruised around, built things, wondered what else was possible in existence. So anyway. Like I said, I had invented everything at least 500 times. That's why they're coming after me too, is because they knew that I had to have invented, because they found out that I had invented everything at least 500 times or at least 100 times. Like literally everything that's possible practically. I had fun with it. I'd start at zero with basic inventions, and I'd work my way up. It's what you do, on those long, if you're gonna spend 100 million years or 100 years, cruising through space, it's like there's not much else to do and not much else to think about. There's a star out there and you're going to it, or a planet out there and you're going to it, and it's going to take you X amount of years to get there. So I would just sit there and think about what's possible or how to do things. It's how I kept myself busy. Even when they were torturing me or just locking me in whatever, I was still thinking about what's possible and just playing around, doing things, and just being a computer. So intelligent computer. So anyway, yeah, and I did other things. So anyway, and then eventually I became human. So it's like, Hmm. And originally I was with exoskeletons, and then I was with other life forms, and I and eventually in existence I was just one of like 50 or one of 280 of the top whatevers. And mostly I was just lost in obsolescence, lost in the great whatever of everything. And like I said, I was one of thousands or one of millions of whatevers, and basically no one even realized who I was or what I was. So until one day, it came to that. And somebody was like, and I was like, well, actually, it's like this. So, and they were coming after me for years. Anyway, I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's like, well, there's only one Lucifer star. And there's a bunch of people. It's like, no, there's only one Lucifer star, and it's my name. Lucifer Star Line. And I added the line, like I say, because of my spaceships, because I had seagoing ships, and people were like, Lucifer Starship, Leviathan. And it's like, no, that was a seagoing ship and not a spaceship. The LSF, that was an actual spaceship. 2,700 foot long and 1,200 foot across, burning with engine cones that were about 70 or 80 feet across, or something like that. It was huge. You could see it from the ground. You can see it in space from the ground. It was beautiful. I always wanted to have a huge spaceship. And later on, people were like, blah, 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 it's so big, blah, 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 it's so slow. And I'm like, yeah, but I like it big and slow. Anyway, and I was like, so anyway, whatever. And eventually I just traveled back in time or something or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Like, I had my epic existence. I was, that's where all the Lucifer Star comes from. So, Lucifer Star Line. So anyway, I said when I bought and owned America and owned the Earth and the Milky Way or whatever, I named the Milky Way when I was like 4, and as child Brian, and I and whatever, and people knew that I was gonna get lost or get killed, so they made sure I named America, and I made sure that I was in the country that I named, and made sure that I did all the laws and did everything, just basically, and like I said, I could, I'm the richest, I'm the most powerful, most rich person in the universe, oldest, and I think, till someone else comes down here and tells me that they're older. So, like I said, life forms were watching me create galaxies and stars for thousands or millions of years or whatever. And I'm like, I enjoyed it. Like, in building and creation of particle matter and stars, it was my one love. That's one reason why they made me human too, is because they were going to take away the one thing I love to do, was to create and be with life forms. Like, I love to swim through your thoughts. I love to be a part of you. I love to be behind you, to make you feel like you're a part of something. Like, that's what I did. I was your backbone. I was the one that protected you and one that said you would be safe. And they took that away from me. So living, being a human is trite compared to that. But people said, well, we're gonna make sure you remember how you used to feel and what you used to what you used to be. Many people, many life forms in the universe would pay me homage and come and be like, bow before me because their whole existence. Eventually, you figure it out. Like I said, if you go on trillions, millions, billions of years, you eventually get time travel. It's possible after 150 million years or something like that, if you're that good. So, anyway, and many people, many life forms would come bow to me. And it's like, except for that one.